Hello walkers, and welcome to Zootown, to Missoula, Montana. Welcome to City Walks, where we explore various cities and sometimes nature trails. Not always knowing exactly where we're going or what we're doing, but we have a lot of fun exploring and discovering new places. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker, your virtual travel guide. In fact, I'm going to show you my face just so you know who I am. Oh, sorry about that. How you doing? Welcome to Montana, and we're going to have a great walk today as I show you around Missoula. So here we go. It is a little bit windy. Absolutely perfect weather though. It is unbelievably jaw-droppingly pleasant right now. I'm going to make a right on this street, which is named something that I don't know just yet, but I will look it up. Like I said, we don't always know what we're doing. Sometimes I just get started and see how it goes. But I'm going to look that up. And we are down near the railroad area. That first building I showed was the old railroad depot. And looks like we are on Alder Street, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go with Alder. Yep, West Alder Street. Across the way is Chicken Front, Double Front. I don't know what that is, a lounge of some sort. A little bit about Missoula. One, passport parking. I just spent 5 minutes resetting all my contact info in there, credit card info. And then it's reminded me that, oh, they don't actually charge for parking in this zone on Saturdays. We'll live and learn. Oh my gosh, it is 73 degrees Fahrenheit, and I think that's 23 degrees Celsius. Delightful weather here, early June on a Saturday. So everything's kind of, it's not quiet, but it's not business busy. It's people out recreating busy, which is kind of nice. You can see the railroad tracks over there. There's another little development on the other side, old part of town. Missoula is sort of surrounded by mountains. You can't really see them because of the buildings and the trees, but still, we'll get some views of them in a little bit. And we are crossing Ryman Street. I'll try and call out these streets every once in a while just so you know where we are on the map. I've been considering and waffling on pulling the trigger on this software that'll track the GPS data from the camera, and draw a map, a moving map, a dynamic map, tracking where we go, and put that on the screen. Still haven't pulled the trigger. It is a little bit pricey, but you know what? I did a live stream this morning, and people tipped me. I couldn't be more flattered. I had such a good time doing that. I enjoy interacting with the viewers, all of you viewers, and responding to your comments, reading your comments, and getting your feedback. Missoula is on the Clarks Fork River, and Interstate 90 and US 12 heads south out of here. I think that's what it is. Down towards Lolo and Lolo Pass. Oops. I have done walks in Missoula before, but I don't think it's ever done it in summer. Never filmed it in summer. Certainly been here in summer. And it is an absolutely beautiful town. University town, University of Montana's here. I did a walk last fall, I think it was, around that campus. Beautiful campus, right up against the mountains. And a lot of there's a great neighborhood over there as well. But we are closer to downtown today, in an area that I haven't really driven through. You know, there's a kind of the main drags that I've seen and been to in Missoula, but I haven't really gotten too far off the beaten track. So I'm going to do that a little bit today as we go back into this beautiful leafy neighborhood. Missoula is known for being, I think it's safe to say it's known for being left-leaning. And, you know, that's fine. I say that I'm reminded of that by this bus coming up here. I think they're referred to often as schoolies, converted school buses. Okay. As always, the audio that I'm recording, I record to a separate audio recorder, which adds a level of complexity that I'd rather not partake of. Thank you. Hopefully we won't get run over by this truck. And sometimes that complexity leads to points of failure. Oh, this breeze, everything about this day is just being pleasant. Just a great day to be outside in Montana. If you have been to Missoula or have connections to Missoula or comments or thoughts about Missoula, please let us know in the comments below. Look at this. The breeze is picking up. The weather forecast called for 13-mile-an-hour winds. I think this might be a little stronger than that. Nevertheless, we are out enjoying it. Love this wide boulevard. I'm going to go walk in the middle of the street because that's one of the things I like to do sometimes. I don't get run over. All right, here we go. Look how wide this street is. Awesome. Loving it. Keeping an eye out behind me. Sort of pressing my luck on a bigger city such as this. Bigger city for Montana. This is Owen Street. See the railroad tracks over there. Panning, panning, panning. And that's down towards the river. We're gonna zigzag our way around these neighborhoods. We'll end up back town. We'll probably cross over the river. And I might, depending on what it looks like, I might drop down to one of the little parks down there along the river. I don't know what the St. Patrick's House is, but it's an old historic building. I'm gonna cross the street just because there's some nice houses over there, a little more interesting than this side. Old wooden homes, lots of character. So Missoula is the county seat of Missoula County. There's only one city in Montana what is it? No, it's Belgrade is the biggest city in Montana that's not a county seat. That's what I'm thinking of. Missoula has about 80,000 people, but the metro area has about 120. I'm gonna turn around here soon and the wind will be at our back and it'll be a little bit nicer. Look at this park up here. Kind of excited about that. This is coming up on McCormick. There's several of these that I've stumbled across over the years. Little triangular parks. Kind of neat. It's kind of a nice, I'm gonna go down that way. I was going to turn the other way, but I'm going to go this way because I like these houses. They remind me a little bit of the Teleskeevy area of Tallinn. for some reason. I think it's that modern, clean Nordic look. Maybe it's the weather too. So we'll just circle around the block and head back towards downtown. If that's all right with you guys. I mentioned the fact that I got some tips on a live stream this morning from, I didn't mention that it was from Helena. Had a great time, about an hour and a half walk. Such fun to interact with viewers and people watching, answering questions, hearing their comments, hearing about their trips to Helena. And it reminded me, somebody suggested I start a YouTube membership, and that's a great idea. I didn't mention at the time because I forgot. I have started a Patreon account. It's a little weird. I feel a little weird asking people for money, and I also barely have enough time to get these out recorded, much less do a whole other level of things above and beyond, because this is not my primary job. And anyway, it's there. There's a link in the description. If you're into it, you can join the other folks who have signed on to support the channel. Much appreciated. I did just post a preview, or not a preview, an early release of a 360 video that I filmed recently, a 360 version. I've been filming 360 versions of my walks, and I decided not to do it today because there's so many people, and honestly, I was a little embarrassed to be walking around with all that gear and kit in a crowded street. I know I should have a little more courage. Look at this Barracuda. That is sweet. I'm not much of a car guy, but that's a beautiful vehicle. Very well restored. I'm a little tempted to walk across that. I want to go over there and explore that area, but it's not a big area, and I don't want to take up too much of your time in the residential areas, although I really enjoy walking around the residential areas. I want to get to, most people I think enjoy the downtown and want to see the downtown, so that's where we're headed now. Oh guys, it is such a great day today. Such a beautiful day. It's supposed to get up to, depending on where you are, I live in Livingston, about 3 hours away. It was very nice in Helena this morning. Very nice here. I'm going to try and possibly do another walk in Missoula and then in Butte. But don't hold me to that. We'll see what the light does as my time burns up here. But let's focus on this one because this is a great walk and we just got started. So this was the road we were on earlier, Alder? I think it was one of those, Alder. We're gonna cross over one more block and then head back towards downtown. We're on Owen right now. I don't know if you could tell, but straight ahead, the road dips down a little bit, and that's where it hits the river. But we're actually going to make a left back east, and there's a bridge down there to the other side where the Boone and Crockett headquarters is. It's hunting points, and I don't know exactly what they do anymore. It was partially started by, co-founded, I guess, with Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, back in the day. I love a good front wraparound porch, and this is a great one. Loving this building. Absolutely beautiful. I could sip some lemonade on that, for sure. Across the way is St. Patrick's Hospital. We're on Spruce. We're on Owen meeting Spruce. We're gonna cross over, and then we'll go back this way. Towards this church. You can see a good view of the mountains there. Oh, I should have stayed on that side. Look at those great houses. Oh well, you can see them from here. Some facts that I'm pulling up from Wikipedia. So you see some of those other houses there. Missoula was incorporated in 1883, in 1885 as a city. And it's about 45 square miles. It's pretty big. So this is Orange Street. It's kind of one of the major thoroughfares in Missoula. This is St. Francis Xavier Church. And I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the light here. Should press the button, huh? Wait. I don't wanna wait. Ooh. Zero emissions, I like it. Good on you, Missoula. See some people out riding their bikes today. It's a fairly active town. Lots of outdoors activities. Of course, there's a Clark's Fork, and then south of town is the Bitterroot River. Lots of trails. There's a ski hill in the area. Lots of national forests to go cross-country skiing and hiking and biking. Very cool place to hang out. It's part of, so it tends to have more rain and precipitation than we do in the east side of the state. Sometimes referred to over here as the Banana Belt. It tends to be a little bit warmer, although it does get quite cold in the winter. Maybe a little bit cooler in the summer. But it really is just nestled here in amongst the mountains. Walked further than I thought. And across Woody here. we'll make our way down that way in a little while. But we're gonna go up here past the Iron Horse, my apologies. Brew pub, I guess. Pretty good place to eat and drink, make merry. I think, wow. Sometimes I get lost jabbering on and lose track. Coming back to Ryman. One of the nice things is this side you get a better view of the mountains, which is nice. Oh, I like the play on the words. So the bus has a lion logo, and it's called the Mountain Line. Play on words with lion, I think. It's kind of fun. See that way, and more mountains down to the south. You know what? I fibbed to you. The Iron Horse is one block down. But we will see in like one of the more popular coffee shops. No, it is. I got it right. Heck yeah. Good job, Henry. Sorry. I'm going to take my accolades where I can get them, even if they're from me. So you can see they have a lot of outdoor seating, a lot of indoor seating. It's really a pretty nice place to eat, especially on a day like today. Getting a little bit of a rustle with my shirt, not sure why. So across the way is the Break Espresso, which is nice. One of the things I like about Missoula is the bike areas. This is Wardens, Deli and Market. It's a nice place to eat. I went and got a coffee from the Break Espresso earlier. Anyway, are the bike lanes, which I'm walking in and shouldn't be. I love cities that aren't totally car dependent. Obviously, you gotta have cars to get stuff done, but I sure like being able to walk and here you go, bike and type MSLA co-working. That's fun to know. I like not having to be totally dependent on cars and being able to take other modes of transportation. My wife, Treadmill, got me a bike 2019, and I'm absolutely loving it. I got some panniers to do grocery stuff, and that's not always possible in many towns. But it looks like it's possible here. This is Pine Street. We're on Higgins as well. That's also a major north-south thoroughfare. We're gonna go down another block before we head over into the wind again. This is the Oxford. I guess it's a bar. I don't really know. Loving this restored Bronco. Looks pretty sweet. I don't know why there's so many restored cars out this weekend. I know there was a show in Livingston, 5 on Black, Brazilian Grill, Engel and Vogel's, and across the way is Plonk. And it's starting to look a lot like Bozeman in terms of their stores. I believe Plonk was started in Bozeman. Can't guarantee that. Coming up on Broadway. So this leads to and from one of the highway exits. I think it's Van Buren. But we're gonna go right for a block or so. Very cool historic murals. More murals of the history of the town. It's fun. I do like a good mural. Liquid Planet. I thought that was on another block, but maybe this is either a new one or else they moved. It's a coffee shop. At least the old one was. Okay, that's the Missoula County Courthouse. I'm gonna duck back here in about 6 seconds. Well, maybe more. This is, again, Higgins. I'm gonna tilt this forward. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. You can see the mountains there. Okay, here we go. Seeing people out on their bikes, walking around, doing some shopping, eating at restaurants and stuff. It's good to see that again. This is Ryman that we're on. I suspect there's a lot of visitors here as well. We are seeing record traffic in, to Yellowstone National Park every week. And lots of people are out traveling again, ready to hit the road, get out of their apartments and houses and travel a bit. Coming up on Main. We're gonna make a left on Main. Ooh, are we gonna make a left on Main? I tricked you again. Oh, there's so many good roads to do on here. So much to see in Missoula. But I think I'm gonna go across. I don't know what the law is here, but we're just gonna cross. It looks like a crosswalk. I like a good sign too, and this is the Missoula Club has a great sign here. There's these groups on Reddit, or subreddits on Reddit, one of which is Slow TV, which is, I think it started in Norway, the idea of just putting these things up for you to watch and nothing really happens, but it's pleasant and comforting and soothing. Anyway, they told me I talk too much to post on that subreddit, which is absolutely true. But I think it's funny because when I started this channel, my idea was to not talk at all. And that's what most channels do. But I just enjoy talking about stuff, tattoo shop. And I enjoy communicating with you guys and telling you what I know and hearing your feedback in the comments. So Opportunity Bank across the way. This is Higgins again. We're gonna swing around. I'd love to just sit here and listen to that guy play music. I might have to come back and drop him a couple bucks. Oh, we're getting into the section where they are playing the music in the street, so I might have to drop out some audio here. Hey guys. Hopefully not. I love this building too. I love this sort of deco design. Cool alley with a cool mural. Let's take a look real quick. Surly bikes. Coming up on Front Street. In the past, down below the bridge, there's a park, and that's where they would have their farmers markets. I assume that's back on, but I don't know. And then the tall building to the right with the sign out front that says Wilma is the Wilma Theater, and I believe apartments, but I'm not sure about that. We're gonna make a right on front. If we had gone left, there's several hotels and a few restaurants down there as well. Some fun old buildings. Stockman's Cafe Bar. There is a Stockman's and a Mint in every single Montana town, it seems like. That's an overstatement, but there are a lot of them. Montgomery Distillery. I haven't seen that one before. It's cool to see. Looks like they've got a pedal and pour for drinking on the go. Top Hat. Not the Top Hat. The Top Hat Lounge was I think it was a music venue for a while. This looks to be more like a restaurant, but maybe they have music in there. Look at this outdoor seating. That's fantastic. Oh, no wonder that's full. And we're gonna go down one more block. It's a fly fishing shop, the Grizzly Hackle Outfitters and Dry Fly Apartments. That's interesting. This person isn't trying to cross. So I think we're back on Ryman. Back on Ryman. Sorry about that. Also have to keep checking my audio recorder. It has a habit of turning off on me. Or I do something to turn it off is probably more accurate. Okay, across the way is the notorious PIG barbecue place. It's fantastic. Somewhere down here was another restaurant and venue that maybe it's Tamarack Brewing. It is. That's a pretty good place to eat and have a bevy. I haven't been to Cranky Sam, but that looks like a pretty nice venue as well if you want to sit outside. See some of this. Thank you. I'm gonna cross illegally. Somebody was very kind to stop. Back towards downtown. And then Tamarack has 2 floors and a deck out the back. Oh, that barbecue. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Guys. Oh, delicious. Oh, that's enough to make a person hungry. You can see people out on the back deck of Tamarack. A tamarack is a kind of tree here. It is actually, it's a fir, I think, or a type of cedar maybe. Anyway, it is deciduous, meaning it loses its needles every year. So you can see the back deck. They got the windows open. Over to our right is an awesome playground. Lots of kids out there having a good time. I believe there's a merry-go-round inside. I'm not going to go over there. I just don't feel, as a parent, I wouldn't really want some guy filming my kids without my permission. So I try to avoid it whenever possible. But we're going to go to this. You can hear the music of the merry-go-round. You can see it in the distance, whizzing by. Lots of people having a good time. We're going to walk along this park. It's kind of the area I mentioned has had the farmer's market. It's a pretty nice park, and it's along the river. So the first thing we're going to do is go see the river. And as I walk directly towards the kids, you can see that it's, we've had a few 90-degree days, and you can see the runoff in this river is raging. The awesome force of nature. And what else is cool is there's a standing wave up here. In fact, I think they've created a structure where those 2 surfers are that they can raise and create a wave, which is pretty cool. So that brick building with the flag, I believe, is Boone and Crockett headquarters. And directly ahead, sort of where the bridge meets the bank over there, that forms kind of an arrow that points at U of M. Kind of a neat pavilion back in here, shaded, cool. A lot of people out enjoying the sunshine. Reminds me of Berlin. The wave part and surfing. So this trail goes along the river here, and then there's another one on the other side that goes up through the canyon. Some interesting looking boards. They must be specific for river surfing or something. You can see the wave just to the right of them. Downtown, Pavilion, bridge. I'm going to go out here because one of them is just paddling in. How cool is that? Very fun. And of course, this is Lewis and Clark came, I believe they came through here at Clark's Fork, and oh, they definitely did, because down at the base of Lower Pass is a historic spot, and it's a literal name, and I cannot remember it. Pretty typical for me. Looks like they're doing a lot of work on this bridge here, but you can see this can be an amphitheater for either for music and that sort of thing. We're going to climb up. Although I didn't realize there was a cafe restaurant here below the Wilma. That big building is the Wilma that I pointed out earlier. It's a great place to see shows. But we're going to cross the river. And first we got to go up these steps. We'll get another view of the surfers, hopefully. Really expanded this pedestrian part. Other people waiting to take their turn on the wave. Looks like there's a couple different waves. The park I was going to go down to was down in these islands. Obviously that's flooded right now. So what we might do is head over, what time is it? Towards the university. Or we might drop down to the base and then back up over here on the right. I love how wide this pedestrian way is now. Came through here last fall. I think I was on the other side, and there was barely enough room for two people to pass each other. Now you can ride your bikes, which is great. Over there you can see the M on the hill for Montana, University of Montana, or Missoula maybe. I should probably get that one straight. So this is the Clark's Fork. This is a little area over here with some shops, obviously, but also a couple nice restaurants and music shops. I'm gonna drop down here. Here's something rattling around. Maybe that's it. My readers. the smell here is of willows and water and trees and forest. It's fantastic. It's refreshing. As I walk past a porta potty, I don't smell that. So I had called this the Boone and Crockett Club, and I kind of think it was. But now Google Maps calls it the Namchak Buddhist Practice and Retreat, which fits for Missoula. Pretty, for sure. Oh, that's such a refreshing cool breeze, and the smell of the water, smell of the trees, fantastic. You see guys out there surfing again. Nice. That's exactly what that sound is. Yeah, so this was, I think, at one time the Boone and Crockett club with a very dysmorphic grizzly bear, in my opinion. Although I've never been in this position with one, so I can't really say. Still, pretty cool view. Might be a thumbnail, everybody. It's a guy feeding ducks. I should get out of the way of these folks. I love these wire hair pointers. Sometimes they're Griffon, sometimes they're German wire hairs. I don't know what's the difference or how to tell the difference. But they're cool looking dogs. In my opinion. So I guess this is the Clark Fork Natural Park, and when the water's lower, there's all these islands in this area, and you can get down there and walk around, and kids love to walk across little log bridges and play in the water. It's a lot of fun, and I wish I could get a better view of it. I think there might be access to it up here. Not to get run over by any bicycles or cause an issue. Love e-bikes. I think they're one of the coolest things around. One of the coolest inventions of the last decade. Here's a place you could probably get down in lower water. And then you can see the path continues on with various features and benches and access to the rest of the road. There's a canal over here, some sort of creek or water. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit and head back up to the city, because that's my plan for the day. There. So nice. Look at these giant, I think they're cottonwoods or poplars. Look how big those things are. 50 or 60 feet tall. going to take the super secret access up there, and by that I mean an informal path. Pardon me while I huff and puff a bit. We're gonna pop out here right next to Bernice's Bakery. They have some amazing, I've had huckleberry cream cheese bear claws here. Awesome. This is 3rd Street, and we're going to continue along Myrtle. Then we'll cut back to Higgins. Oh, that got me. That made me skip a beat. Coming up on 4th. And off to the left is La Petite Outre Breads. And the last time I was here, maybe it was the time of day, but there were people lined up to get their bread. So I'm assuming it's pretty good. Some nice old her homes. Coming up on the cultural center of Missoula. I was joking, it's the Big Dipper ice cream store. We love us some Big Dipper. But I'm not ready to stop yet, so we're gonna pass the Big Dipper as much as I'd love to grab a cone. So good. If you visit Missoula, you simply must come to the Big Dipper, grab some ice cream. Most of the places I recommend involve copious amounts of sugar. This is 5th Street, we're on Higgins. Cross and go along the other side. You can see the bridge down there under construction. And we're crossing. Actually a decent bike shop down here too, I think. We're coming up on the Roxy Theater, which is the home to the International Wildlife Film Festival every year. I think it's in May. Looks like they're showing movies too. That's the bike shop. Missoula Bicycle Works. So check them out if you need a bike. Independent movies as well. I think it's a non-profit. Lots of fun. This is 6th Street. That big building there, I believe, is part of the high school. We're going to cut down 6th towards the university. Some neat places here. The Missoula Angler across the street. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. You can see how close these mountains are. And they're not huge mountains. They're not tens of thousands of feet high, but they are right there. They're very accessible, and you'll see how close the university really is. The University of Montana really is to them. In fact, the M, which you can maybe see through the trees there, that trail leads up just behind the stadium. This is the Holy Spirit Episcopal Church. Nice old building, classic style, like a lot of Episcopal churches. Crossing Gerald. Sorry, I was hearing a beeping sound. It sounded like it was coming from the camera because I was listening to it through the microphone. And it was actually just that crosswalk. Here's another one. I'm going to cross the street up here on Ronald. Is that what the street's named? I feel like we're going to get a better view. Love that lush garden. Maybe we'll keep going until the traffic eases up, which would be now. I'm going to go down Ronald a bit. Very classic, old university-looking building. Maybe it's the vines, the ivy on the sides make me think that. I didn't tell you, I think we're on 7th. These classic old houses. This yard over here has got deer fencing in it, all around it. Montana has a lot of places have a lot of deer. And in Montana, you know, we're surrounded, our cities are typically surrounded by agricultural lands or wild spaces. Beautiful old building here. And so the deer just come in and can go out at any time. Not a big deal. Interesting. Another interesting old house. Hi there. Love these trees. Oh, so idyllic over here. I'm sure these are really expensive places to live, places to buy, but it sure is nice in here. Of course, that sounds more like fraternal life. And some guys playing basketball, so they look about college age. Could be wrong. This lovely garden. Beautiful. Looks like there are some weeds in there, but nothing a little bit of work couldn't fix. It's actually, I'm understating the amount of work. We have a little patch like that in our front yard, and keeping ahead of the grass, it's a meditative act. Oh, those flowers smell good. Gosh, these buildings are great. Nice old lab up there on the porch. House for rent. A couple of them. University adjacent. Speaking of, we're about to cross into the University of Montana. And we're just going to keep going not much further. In fact, I think it's an hour and 6 minutes. It doesn't feel to me like we've been walking that long. Hope it doesn't feel like it's been that long to you. But we are going to wrap up this one, and I'm going to not turn around, but I am going to film another one. So keep an eye out for that coming soon, as it were. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Leave us a comment. I do love reading your comments. I love responding to your comments, interacting with you guys. It's a pleasure for me. Subscribe and like and all that fun stuff. But mainly, come back next time. Maybe tell your friends, but come back next time for our next walk, and we'll do it again, man. We'll explore and bumble about a different place. Until then, as they say, keep on stepping. from Missoula, Montana.